Hello and thanks for joining us again today on New and Old Survival. Be advised that the video that you're going to see has not been approved by any Canning Goods Association for Home Canning or the FDA. It is only a suggestion. You can take it for entertainment. I'm willing to learn. If you want to hold off on this method until I reach my final thoughts and opinions, then we'll have to wait about 6 months to a year to see what happens. With that said, come along. Today, we'll be doing a video on how to can ready-to-eat rice. I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming back, and for if it's your first time, please let me say now, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the videos. By all means, share it to your Facebook. That way you'll have this recipe right at hand. Also, you can visit us at New and Old Survival on Facebook. Today, as I said, we're going to be canning rice. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is a 2-pound bag of rice. And I'll be using my best appliance electric pressure cooker. And on the back it has "do not rinse" because this is enriched. Excuse me. If you want to save those vitamins and minerals, then this is not the best way to store your rice. I know that you can freeze it, you can oven can it. There's the different ways that you can store long grain rice, and they've been doing this ever since the Egyptians were here, because we find rice in the tombs and the pyramids. But what I want is a product that I can just heat up and eat. So we're going to rinse our rice until the water runs clear. This is the whole 2 pounds that I'm doing. And I've discovered that this makes about 5 pints, which will give you, of course, about 2 cups of prepared rice, which is perfect, especially if you're adding it to a meal, or if you're going to make fried rice. You can have rice for breakfast along with eggs and bacon. Rice just goes with any meal. Alright, our water is clear. We're going to add this to the pot after it drains. And go to the next step. If you're using an electric pressure cooker like I am, then you want to use equal portions of rice and water. So I already know that this is 4 cups of rice, so I'm adding 4 cups of cold water. Now, if you're not using an electric pressure cooker, then you want to go by the directions on the bag, but you will want to rinse just as we done before. And you'll want to use the recommended amount of water, which I believe if I was going to use this on a stovetop, it was 1 cup of rice and 1.5 cups of water. But the rice that you get may have different instructions. So after I've plugged the electric pressure cooker in, then I'll go ahead and put on my top. There we go. Set it to seal, not to vent. And then for mine, I have a setting for white rice, but you'll notice that it starts at 12 minutes. It doesn't matter, and the lowest I can go is 8. Let me back out of it. So 8 minutes. It doesn't matter what type you have. There we go, it started. If you're using a electric pressure cooker, then you're only going to want to cook the rice for 3 minutes. Mine goes to 8, so I'm going to have to be cognizant of the time. But after 3 minutes, I'm just going to unplug it, no power. And then I'm going to let it sit for 10 minutes before I release the steam. Let the countdown begin from 8 to 5. And that's it. Let's find the cord, unplug it, no power. Now we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes. Oh, sorry about all the noise. And we're going to wait some more. There's not a whole lot of steam, but there's steam nonetheless. And we're just going to let that come down to temperature. Now the steam has been released. I can safely now take the lid off. And because I have a stainless steel, let's see if I'm in frame, yeah. Because I have a stainless steel container, I can use metal utensils. It's not one of those non-stick. You can see, actually my rice is very well done. I can just tell by the feel of it. And if you've cooked rice, you'll be able to tell also. Once the pot is cool enough that you can pick it up without burning yourself, then we're going to place it in the refrigerator. I've actually put a towel down just to make sure the thermal process doesn't crack, the glass. We're going to let that set for 24 hours. It has now been 24 hours and we've removed the rice from the fridge, and I like to take a meat fork and go around and fluff up the rice once again. You will find some areas that probably didn't get washed or all the gluten, so you'll kind of end up with these rice balls. I just break them apart just for consistency. We're going to fill up our jars and we're going to tightly pack them to get as much in there as we can. Right there is about a 1-inch headspace. No, I'm not even looking for that. I want to get it as close to the top as I can, but still allows the lid to sit on there without any obstruction. I'll bring you back when all of these are full. All of my jars are full and rings have been put on after wiping the rims, but I wanted to show you this. Using the method that I showed you, there is no burnt spots. I hope this is picking up. And everything comes out beautiful. So if you don't have a rice cooker, but you do have an Instapot or electric pressure cooker, I invite you to try that method and see what you come up with. If your cooking rice in the method that I showed you, it does not matter the quantity as long as you don't overfill your pot. If you're only doing 1 cup, if you're doing 4 cups or 6 cups, using this method, you use equal amounts of rice and water, and the time is still the same. Now, because that the rice is still cold, I'm starting with cold water. Remember, cold food goes into cold jars and gets cold water. All right, that was actually 4 cups. You didn't see the first 2. And so now I'm going to close the lid, and I'm going to process this high pressure for 20 minutes. And when it's finished, I'll bring you back again. Now it's time to compare the results. This one is the method that I just showed you using the rinse method. Sealed nicely. Let's see how it looks. Well, it's still clumped. Not what I had hoped. Okay. Still clumped up, even after washing. So it's going to be interesting to see what the no washing method, how it does. Let me dump this in the pot that we'll use for dinner tomorrow. It almost looks like you may not have to spend the time washing it. This almost turns out better. Look. Not much difference. I don't think it's worth the time to wash it. What do you say? I hope that you found this video informative, and I hope that it's intriguing. For me, I like to have foods canned up in case of power outages, and for crying out loud, it's 2020 with over 28 named storms that have been brewing in the Pacific, the Atlantic, all the political unrest. It just doesn't seem to be getting any better, and I doubt that it will the closer that Jesus is coming to his return. So anyway, hit me up, ask your questions, post your likes, your comments, visit us on Facebook, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you soon on another video.